Welcome to the American Dream. I am Vickie Jacobs, your host, and today we're in Tucson, Arizona, a city not only rich with desert beauty and vibrant culture, but also a UNESCO city of gastronomy. Here in Tucson, food isn't something you eat, it's a lifestyle. It's heritage, innovation, and community all served on a plate. From the ancient farming traditions of the Sonoran Desert to bold modern kitchens, Tucson blends the old and new like nowhere else. Whether you're a Tucson who loves a neighborhood gem, or you're thinking about making Tucson home, this city offers a flavor of good life in every way. Great weather, strong community, and of course, incredible food. And today, we are meeting with one of the chefs refining Southwest cuisine, Chef John Martinez of Tito Pep, a hometown talent bringing mesquite-fired magic and a modern flair to Tucson's dining scene. This is the taste of Tucson. This is the American dream. Let's go inside. So good morning, John. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and joining us.
Let's start with how you named it Tito Pep, or why you named it Tito Pep.
The name Tito Pep really is near and dear to me. When I was a kid and I started cooking, the first person I really cooked with a lot was my grandmother. Her nearest and dearest was her first cousin, my Aunt Marie. And when I first moved back to Tucson a couple of years ago, I had a chance to go visit my Aunt Marie on the way to a wedding in California. And at this point, my grandmother passed a couple years before him. And my Aunt Marie was dealing with cancer, and I kind of knew it was my last chance to really visit her. So I got to go to her house and hang out and talk. And, you know, when I was a kid, my grandmother would always refer to her as Aunt Tito. And I was like, it's kind of like a tough name, but like, you know, where does this come from? Like, you know, we could never call her that. We couldn't address her as that. But my grandmother always referred to her as that. And so when I went to visit my Aunt Marie for the last time, I finally asked her, I was like, why did my grandmother, call you Tito? What did this come from? And she said when they were little girls, my grandmother would babysit her and to entertain her cousin, my grandmother would make up these stories of these two girls that were, the best of friends. One was a rich girl, one was a poor girl, and their names were Tito and Pep. And so once my Aunt Marie told me that story, I was like, that's it. Like that's the name of my place, because it really is kind of an homage to the two of them. My grandmother was an amazing cook, and my Aunt Marie is a bit of a bon vivant. She really knew how to have a good time. So, we want to have a place with great food, and have a place with a great drink, have a dining room with some energy, some pep in it. And I just thought that was the perfect name.
Pep, it is a perfect name, because there is a lot of energy in your restaurant. Next, where did you come up with this mid-century design?
The neighborhoods around us. I felt Midtown and Central Tucson was kind of underserved at the time. There were some long-standing restaurants that were institutions, and I really want to do something new and really be a part of, the neighborhood and the part of town that we're in. I really want to pull a lot of that architectural inspiration from the places around us, and then also a lot of it was inspired by the homes I kind of grew up in.
John, if someone walks into Tito and Pep, what dish has to hit the table?
I think we have a very diverse menu. I myself would always start with one of our raw seafood selections. I think it's a great way to start a meal. Our sea bass crudo, that has been a long-standing fixture on our menu, really takes me back to sitting on the beaches in Mexico when I was a kid. Something you would get at the seafood stands down there. I love that dish. And then I would say, get one of our seasonal vegetable dishes, something that has kind of been over the coals. And then, of course, an entree selection that would come off of the grill. I can't necessarily say I have a favorite dish. It'd be like having to pick a favorite son, and nobody wants to do that. But I love them all, you know, but for me, when I come in, or I think if people want to have a great experience here, definitely come in, you know, start with a light seafood preparation, you know, get some vegetables, and then, you know, maybe share a fish selection and then also a meat selection off the grill, and get a great dessert at the end.
From mesquite grilled masterpieces to deep cultured roots, Tucson serves up lifestyle that's bold, beautiful, and full of heart. Whether you're a visitor soaking up the desert sun or someone dreaming of a new place to call home, Tucson welcomes you with open arms, good food, and the spirit of possibilities. Thank you for joining us on American Dream. I am your host, Vickie Jacobs. Until next time.